Level 1. $0. Your grandmother dies, and within a day, the family group chat has turned into a fundraiser. One aunt is pricing caskets. A cousin is quietly asking if cremation is cheaper. It is. That's level 1 of generational wealth. The only thing handed down is the bill for the goodbye. Now here's the part that surprises people. Her debts mostly don't jump onto you. In the US, what she owed gets paid out of her estate, and when the estate is empty, most of it dies with her. You don't inherit her credit card unless you co-signed it. So no, you're not born owing money. You're just born starting at 0. On the same week, you're splitting a funeral bill 7 ways. And the wealth at this level is real. It's just not money. It's a cousin with a spare room, an uncle with a truck, a neighbor who feeds 4 kids without ever mentioning it. That's the entire portfolio, and it has carried families for generations on nothing but showing up. The takeaway: at level 1, nobody inherits money. They inherit each other, and that net is made of people who can also barely afford it. Level 2, $10,000. Your dad leaves you a Corolla with 190,000 miles on it and a savings account with 4 figures in it. You feel guilty about being relieved. Don't. That car is the reason you keep your job, and that account is the reason one bad month doesn't turn into a spiral. Because that's what 10 grand actually is. It's not wealth, it's a shock absorber. Surveys keep finding that a big chunk of adults couldn't cover a surprise $400 expense with cash. 10,000 means the transmission going out is a bad Tuesday instead of a lost job, a repossessed car, and a hole you spend 2 years climbing out of. Same event, completely different life. It's the least glamorous money on this entire list, and it changes the most because it's the first level where a disaster stops compounding. The takeaway: level 2 doesn't make anybody rich. It just breaks the chain where one broken thing breaks everything else, and that chain is what keeps most families exactly where they started. Level 3, $100,000. Somebody in your family finishes paying off a house, and years later a 22-year-old moves into it and pays no rent. That's it. That's the whole level, and it's the biggest jump on this list. Housing is the single largest line in almost every household budget, roughly a third of everything most people spend. Delete it, and a normal salary starts behaving like a great one. Your cousin isn't smarter than you. He's just running the same race with the heaviest weight taken off his back, and he genuinely does not know it. He thinks he's disciplined. He's housed. This is also the first level where the money stops being a number and becomes a place, an address the family can always return to, which is a very different kind of safe than a bank balance. The takeaway: level 3 is where a family stops paying a landlord forever, and the first kid gets to start adult life above 0 instead of at it. Level 4, $500,000. There's a lawyer's office, a document on the desk, and for the first time in your family's history, the money has instructions. Somebody read the word beneficiary out loud, and everyone got a bit formal about it. That's level 4, and the change isn't the amount. It's that the wealth now outlives the person who made it. Below this line, money is attached to a human being. It gets earned by them, spent on them, and it evaporates roughly when they do. At $500,000, with property and a spread out pile and actual insurance, the family can take one genuine disaster, a death, a long illness, a business folding, and still exist financially on the other side. That's new. Everything below this level is one bad year from level 1. The takeaway: level 4 is the first level that survives its own owner. The money stops being a person's and starts being a family's. Level 5, $5 million. A 24-year-old sits in a meeting room across from an accountant she didn't hire, being told what she can take out each year. Rule of thumb: people pull something like 4%. Call it 200 grand a year. No guarantees attached. And here's the thing that trips everyone up. That family is not living twice as comfortably as the family at 500,000. The house isn't twice as nice. The food is the same food. What changed is that the money now out-earns the work, and that buys something you can't buy at any level below it: the ability to say no. She can take the unpaid internship. She can quit the job that's eating her. She can start the business that fails. Her cousin at level 2 can't, and it has nothing to do with grit. The takeaway: level 5 doesn't buy comfort, it buys options. It's where the family stops choosing jobs based on which one pays soonest. Level 6, $50 million. There's a boardroom, a long table, and 4 family members being walked through documents by people who work for the family full-time. Nobody at that table earned this. Their job is to not lose it. That's level 6, where wealth stops being an amount and becomes a structure. Trusts, holding companies, a family office, and a small army of lawyers whose entire purpose is keeping the pile from being carved up by taxes on the way down. It has to be, because the federal estate tax starts biting in the tens of millions, and above that line, every dollar has to be routed somewhere before somebody dies, rather than after. And this is the level with the highest failure rate. People love quoting that family wealth is mostly gone by the 3rd generation. The number's shakier than they make it sound, but the reason behind it isn't. Heirs who inherit a system nobody taught them to run tend to break it. The takeaway: at level 6, the money hires professionals and the family becomes management. What kills it isn't the market, it's the handover. Level 7, $1 billion. There's a building with your surname carved above the door, and not one person walking through it could name a living member of your family. That's level 7, and it's the strangest one, because the money has finally outgrown the people. Capital at this size compounds faster than a human being can physically spend it, which means it stops being savings and turns into weather. Foundations, endowments, scholarships, a wing of a hospital, all of it running off returns while the principal never moves. The family didn't get more control at this level, they got less. Below this, a person makes the decisions. Up here, documents do. A trust written by someone dead, executed by strangers, for people not born yet. The surname becomes the asset, and the actual humans become its temporary staff. The takeaway: at level 1, you inherit a funeral bill. At level 7, you inherit a job you can't quit and a name you didn't build. Somewhere on that ladder is the level you're actually aiming at. So which one is it? And do you know what it takes to get there? Or have you just been hoping?